Hey everybody, welcome back to Mead Monday on the Mead Masters Guild. I'm here with my good friend again, Courtney.
Hey everyone!
And today we're drinking Maxwell honey wine. Stay tuned. All right, this week we are drinking Maxwell honey mead. It's a meadery from Australia, so this is our first international mead we're actually trying. And just by going over the history, Courtney has a little bit more to talk about it, so listen.
Yeah, well, ever since 1961, they have been the largest mead distributor in the Southern Hemisphere. They are based out of Australia. And funny story, this is the first mead that I and Brian, separate instances, have ever tried.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. They have a plethora of different things that they offer on location in Australia, and it's almost mind-boggling what they have available. They have a wine museum, they offer mead flights, they have these amazing caves, these limestone caves that are hand-carved by one man, over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. They were used to grow mushrooms that are still to this day used in their on-site restaurant. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is a fine dining restaurant.
Yes.
So it's not, Bob's Burgers.
Just Bob's Burgers. It's not Bob's Burger. It's not Bob's Burger Cave.
Yeah, no. They also offer fine dining experiences in some of the caves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty freaking nifty.
Yeah, we checked out their website and they have some pictures of it, and it's pretty mind-boggling that you get to see this 100-year-old hand-carved cave with like natural mushrooms growing around, and you actually get to have like a group that you can like do this nice fine dining on this like grand table. It's actually really cool. Check it out.
It's super nifty.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hedge maze there as well, where you can have a picnic with your family, and you can basically bring alcohol with you. It just has to be Maxwell.
Yeah, you can provide your own food. The only thing to ask is obviously you just buy your beverages from Maxwell for alcoholic purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like Courtney said, it was also my first experience as well. I was actually at a house party. We were talking about something like Skyrim and blacksmithing and mead, and my buddy's like, "Oh, you want to try some mead?" So he actually poured me some Maxwell, and it was at that point I got hooked on mead personally. I'm not sure what your story was.
No, it was definitely my introduction to mead. A friend of mine, Rose, she brought it to my birthday party, the first one I had with my now husband, in West Edmonton Mall Fantasyland Hotel. We were in the igloo room. I don't know why I didn't choose another room, but to be perfectly honest, it was still an amazing night. And I think somebody rode the seal that goes over the tub and possibly broke it. But all that aside, it was my first time having a lot of mead.
Yeah. So, but like we both tried, but we wanted to do an actual. It was just a drinking experience generally at a party or like a birthday party. So we figured we'd give it a proper tasting in our style. So here we go. Oh my God!
I know, long table.
Long table.
Now, for information's sake, this mead has also won Best Pure Varietal Mead, the gold medal in the International Mead Festival competition in the United States. So they've done pretty well for themselves. Like, they're...
Well, yeah, they've been around since, like I said, 1961. They actually started the Australian mead industry. They were the first ones to basically do it. And biggest mead distributor in the Southern Hemisphere is definitely something to be said. And I know I've seen it in many different liquor distributors around like Alberta and Canada that I've seen when I've traveled. Mm-hmm. So there's a good chance that, wherever you may be, there's a good chance you could try it as well, because if not, one of your distributors probably carry it as well.
Yeah, if you know where they offer the different types, because Maxwell has 4 or 5 main types of mead. They have sparkling mead.
They have a sparkling mead, they have the traditional, they have a spiced, and they have a liqueur as well. So they have 4.
Yeah, if you know where to find those,
mm-hmm.
Leave us a message in the what is it? The comments?
The
yes,
comments
the comments. Below. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. In the comments down below, because I would be very curious to try them.
Yeah. All right, but I'll try. Clean and gold, again, pure honey. It's a traditional mead. I'm not seeing too many hues of any spices or flavors. Again, it's traditional and pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's very clear. It also, I would say it's also got those really stiff legs, like it coats as opposed to falls off the falls off the inside of the glass. So I would say it's got a higher honey content for sure.
Again, yeah, traditional on the sweeter side. The sugars are definitely staying up more. So, all right.
I'm definitely getting more apple tones off of this. It also looks like apple juice.
It does. There is a strong apple presence there that I find.
Yeah.
And it tastes just like the first time I tried it.
I would almost say it's got like a slightly cinnamony. Not heavy on the cinnamon, but
I was gonna say even for sweet, but the acidic type, it's sweet, but there's very little acidity I find to it. It's not like some fruits where it kind of burns your mouth with the acid flavor. It doesn't.
It almost reminds me of like a very tart apple juice.
Yeah, it's what it reminds me of, like.
Or crab apple juice.
Exactly, crab apple juice with a bit of sweetness of honey into it. There's not, like I said, there's not a lot of acid that's kind of like burning your mouth.
Yeah, I would almost say I get more of an apple flavor than a honey flavor off this, for sure. So we've come up with a couple different food pairings to go with this. We've got things that go usually well with a traditional mead, which is, the spiced meat, smoked cheese, but we also grabbed a couple items that, just offer a different part of the palate or could potentially change the flavor profile. Yeah. So we're going to start with the meat and the cheese and go from there.
Do you have the extra plates?
It's okay, we can just use the ones that the pie's on.
Got pie as well, because yes, we do have pumpkin pie, which we thought would be a great idea for trying this. Whereas, as well as meads go, find that traditional mead is pretty neutral in the sense, like, you don't, depending on what it is, you're not like way off in spice flavors or fruit flavors or florals and stuff like that. It's the honey, water, yeast, and then whatever the profile is of the honey. So I guess as far as meads would go, it's pretty neutral in its sense.
I'm just starting off with cheese.
Smoked Gouda is always a good way to start off.
I'm just trying to get a really good coating of the cheese in my mouth before I take a sip. That makes it really sweet. Holy frick.
That does. it's like it takes away the smokiness and almost replaces it with this smoky sweetness kind of thing. Yeah.
That's nuts. It tastes so sweet now.
Woof. Smoked Gouda to sweet Gouda. It's really Gouda.
That's a bad joke and you know it. Okay, I don't think, personally speaking, that amount of sweetness I do not require in a drink, so I probably would not be pairing this with smoked Gouda again. But if you really like the sweetness, that's definitely a good option for you.
I'd say maybe like the cheeses we previously did, the crumble where it tastes like cheesecake. It'd probably accent that.
Probably.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. It was when we did our cherry. Was it cherry meat more?
No, it was. Now I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Sorry.
But we did a cheese pairing, and then when
Wensleydale. They were Wensleydale cheeses.
The Wensleydale cheeses. When we drank it with a sweeter style mead, it tastes like you're drinking cheesecake, and I think that's kind of what this would turn the Wensleydales into.
Unfortunately, I don't have any Wensleydale on hand.
But we'll go chicken next.
Ooh. Once again, this is smoked chicken with like a Memphis style spicing, so it's pretty traditional, like seasoning salt, rosemary.
Freshly smoked today. So good. Yep. Thank you.
Really good.
I think smoked is just better. Almost like it brings the smoke down a little bit, and it almost just tastes like it adds a honey glaze in my mouth to the meat a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of tones down the apple flavors as well.
Yeah, it's like eating smoked meat that's warm and good, but again, it's almost like it adds like a honey glaze to it in your mouth.
Yeah, it doesn't change the flavor profile of the mead, But it does really complement what you're eating. Okay, samosa time. Let's see how we do with some spice. Wonder if this is going to leave the prickly feeling on my tongue that happened with... which one was that?
That was the John Cameron...
from Chinook.
From Chinook, yeah. But yeah, trying spice with a traditional... you never know really what it's going to bring out in taste. It could accent some flavors. It could hide some other ones.
It could feel prickly.
Prickly.
Yeah.
Is the best way to describe it. And maybe it's just a mixture of the alcohol and the honey, but it definitely accents the heat.
Yeah, it makes the spice feel sharper. It doesn't make it hotter.
Yeah, it's not like
I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, it's not like it makes it like unbearably hot where it's burning your mouth. It's just, I think it kind of makes that heat kind of linger longer in your mouth. I think
it feels like my tongue's being microneedled.
Tiny little needles are poking my mouth.
It does. It doesn't necessarily hurt. It's just that's how it feels.
Yeah, like for me, it's kind of making the heat, like accenting it and just kind of making it last a little longer. So I mean, if you're somebody that does like spicy food or things like that, I think this a traditional mead from what we've done previous to Maxwell here, this traditional style, would probably go well with pairing with your food because, you know, if you're a fan of having that heat in your mouth and kind of prolonging the flavors, it kind of accents that and just brings it out. So I think that would definitely be good for you. But we do next have some pumpkin pie.
More of a North American treat. Apparently our neighbors across the sea don't care for it.
I know it is, but I love pumpkin.
You like it, mushy? Sorry, Britain. Don't they eat a lot of mushy food?
I've asked my mom. She's from England.
Well, they have mushy peas.
Mushy peas is
like
actually
mushy
really
peas.
good. I love mushy peas. Mushy pea soup. My mom makes it. Okay. It makes it, for me, that's just making the spices pop. Like the nutmeg and stuff and the cinnamon.
Yeah, like really.
It's just kind of like for the spice, bringing it out. And for me, for the pumpkin pie, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, it's bringing it to the forefront.
I feel like I'm licking a cinnamon stick, but I'm not getting the bitterness of the cinnamon stick.
Exactly. It's like the sweetness is cutting the bitterness, but you're still getting all those very pronounced flavors in it.
I would imagine this would make a very good mold.
Yes. Maxwell does make a spiced mead as well. I do have a lot of that, which we will be doing in the future as well. And spiced mead, you know, going from previous videos, is amazing mulled. Even a traditional, there's no reason you couldn't have it chilled or mulled. So it does have a huge variety. If you want to chill it for like a nice hot summer day, come fall time or winter, if you want to warm it, mull it, maybe mix it with some spices. You can't go wrong either way. But we do have more unicorn.
More unicorn popcorn.
Unicorn popcorn that's crack.
Yes, crack corn. So, if you didn't watch the last video, there will be a link in the description below. But if you don't necessarily have the time, basically this is just salted buttered popcorn with a drizzle of purple colored chocolate. White chocolate.
It's crack. The best way I can describe it is just crack. Apple jelly.
Yeah.
Are you getting that? So we did a previous mead tasting with a traditional wine or traditional mead, and we did it this way. There were notes of pear in it, and when we had this, it was like you're
drinking canned pear juice.
Drinking canned pear juice. For this, it's almost like it was canned apples. Like there's hints of apple in there, but the saltiness and the sweetness here are bringing forward. It's like you're almost eating like drinking apple jelly. That I find.
Like it's far more intense in flavor, but obviously not as thick.
Yeah. Like I know the back sweetness and a little bit of thickness comes from the honey, and I'm pretty sure just by the thickness of it, they probably use it as a back sweetener after initial fermentation.
This kind of reminds me of my grandmother's crab apple jelly she used to make.
Oh, really?
Years ago.
Oh, nice. Oh. But they'll say, but again, like, there's a lot of nostalgia in Maxwell for me, again, drinking it.
Sorry, I gotta grab the horn. I forgot to put it on the table.
But as for a little nostalgia for me, like, again, this being the first mead I ever drank, this was the mead that introduced me to the world of mead and really got my attention and made me want to do this channel and share it with friends and such. But yeah, no, like, bringing the apple forth into that with the salt and the salt and the chocolate really on that palate. I'm finding something new that I never experienced before the first time I ever had this.
Well, the first time I ever had it, I was more concerned with birthday shots and not I wonder what would bring out different flavors in my mead.
No, but again, mead is...
I'm living the high life now.
Mead, great for any event, no matter what it is. If it's birthday or you're going to a hedge maze like they have at Maxwell and just having a nice picnic on a beautiful day, or you're having a day in on a cold fall or winter night and you want to have something nice to warm you up and you're, spend that time with someone special. You can never go wrong with a bottle of mead. Traditional, Mel, Hydromel, doesn't matter. There's a mead for your taste and there's a mead for every occasion out there, no matter what it is. But we shall also try, as the official drinking vessel, mead in the horn.
That's a lot.
The thing about a horn is you're never really sure how much is in there until you kind of use it for a while, then you see how much of a bottle it takes.
That's a lot. Not a complaint, just an observation.
Just an observation. And yes, like, when I say the official drinking vessel of mead, like, brandy, different kinds of beer, wine, all have their own drinking vessel or style of glass. There really isn't one that's set for mead, whether it be a glass, a snifter, a stein, a horn is kind of the way it is. I think I say the horn just because it's so unique and different. Being the world's oldest drink, I think it just kind of deserves its own unique drinking vessel. Something that has a wide mouth. Again, we were talking previously before off camera about having a big enough mouth too that you can take in the taste and the smell and everything. I think that's why like the horn, especially too, I said in the previous video when I was doing with Scott and Mike that it just kind of connects you with your history. It's old, it's useful, it's just cool and unique.
And for some reason it feels really good in your hand.
Absolutely. You feel like a Viking when you drink. Yeah. No, even from there, it's strong notes of apple, and with everything else, again, something salty, a little bit sweet, like a caramel or chocolate corn, I think definitely is going to give you that apple jelly taste to it.
For sure.
If you were to ever heat it up and mull it, if you were just to heat it up by itself or use mulling spices, you would definitely change the profile as well to be more aromatic, I think. Mm-hmm. And would be, again, another amazing thing to have. But definitely kudos to Maxwell for making such an amazing mead and making a mead that brought both of us into the world of mead. And it is, I know personally for me, it's become my drink of choice, and I definitely thank them for it. And I'd love to do more meads of theirs on the channel. And I mean, if I ever get the chance, definitely go. I want to go sit in
I want to go sit in a cave.
I want to go sit in a cave and eat fancy food.
That doesn't sound messed up at all.
I mean, we could always go in the hedge maze and have a picnic.
Thank you, Yumi.
Thanks, Yumi, for a picnic.
That doesn't make me boo-boo. Just saying.
No, it doesn't.
Get your own goddamn picnic basket.
But again, we'll leave a link in the description below to Maxwell on their website. You can see all their different events and the different things you can explore at their venue. Leave a comment below. What was your first experience with mead? Was it by yourself? Was it just was it a social media reference? Was it from a video game, a TV show, or something like that made you interested in mead or brought you into the world of mead? Let us know below. And as always, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.